this week, this entire week, day now to Sunday, I'm giving you a little piece of homework, but it's more of an invitation to meet yourself more deeply, to hear your truths more loudly, to know yourself so much more intimately, and not from a place of the mind, and not from a place of the story and the shallow and this is what I always say, the monotonous automatic answers that can come out of our mouths, because that's where we've been living, in our minds, in our stories, in our patterns, in our behaviors, in our past. So this week, and do let me know if you have any questions, and I'm going to share with you how to do this. But this week, this entire week, and it will be maybe the biggest part of the challenge for you, honestly. It's quite a tough one, but it's necessary. This week, I ask you to go on a noise detox while you're in the challenge. I see you, Kylie. And it takes courage to own our deeper truths. So how will a noise detox help you? What is a noise detox for starters? It's quite simple. It's about consciously choosing not to zone out, distract, or fill the silence of your days with podcasts, books, YouTube scrolling, gossiping, or whatever your go-to distractions are. Notice what's happening in your body as I say that. When I say you're choosing not to zone out, distract, or fill the silence with books, podcasts, YouTube scrolling, gossiping, or whatever your go-to distraction might be. Earlier this year, I was in quite a significant depressive episode, and I'm sharing this for a reason. It was one of the reasons I really needed a life reset, to be honest. But I was filling my whole day with noise, reading and learning on YouTube, reading and learning on YouTube, reading and learning on YouTube, reading and learning on YouTube. I could see it so clearly. There was no room in me for my own thoughts, for my own feelings. And that was kind of the point. I didn't want to feel what I was feeling, so I distracted. And because I was distracted and I couldn't feel what I was feeling, I didn't know what I was thinking. I didn't know what was true for me. I didn't know what I needed in those moments. And consciously checking out of zoning out saved me and got me to start doing my life reset again. So that's what I want you to do this week. I invite you to do this week. And you might know, or rather, you might notice where you're bringing in noise by what you do throughout the day. When you're eating, do you always need to pop on a podcast? When you're walking, do you need to have an audiobook in? When you're on the toilet, do you go, oh, where's my phone so I can bring it with me for the 2 minutes that I'm in there? Before bed, after work, when you're, sitting at your computer, maybe you should be doing work and you pick up your phone instead. So tune into the truth of you to learn what you need for a successful life reset. You actually need to meet yourself, and we can't meet ourselves if we're surrounded by noise of everyone else. If you saw my boundaries masterclass the other day, you would have, seen me talk about this. And if you'd like a link to that video, if you weren't there or if you didn't see it and this is resonating, I can share it with you. Most of my life was noise. I was also trapped in the learning whirlwind. Yeah, and we have very good reasons for why we need the noise. I need to be better. I need to sort out my business. I need to heal this wound. I need to be better for my clients. I need to relax because I've had a hard day. Like, we have a lot of reasons for why we introduce noise, but we don't really see the impact of that noise. This week, you will notice the impact. You will see how much of you has been suppressed and hidden and tucked away because you needed to make room for everyone else's noise. For the books, for the habits, for the learning, for the routine, for the blur, for the distraction. And when we remove these one by one, you emerge. There'll be nothing but you in here. which can be scary. And that's why we do it in a container like this, so you're not alone. So only you will know what your distractions are and if they're disconnecting you from your thoughts. Be honest with yourself. Like genuinely, if reading 10 minutes in the morning like awakens you and doesn't distract you and gets you off to a good start, that's not noise you need to tune out. But if you know, oh, I just wanted to check my phone for 5 minutes and now it's 5 hours later or 30 minutes later, that's a noise. If you can't sit still without a podcast on, that's noise. If you need something to make you feel better because you don't want to think about something in your life, that's noise. You love the sound of that. Beautiful. So be honest with yourself. And again, I'm not telling you to do this, and I can't make you do this or check on you. This is up to you. And it's not about being perfect, and you literally cannot fail. So do your best. Even when you take the noise and take the distraction, notice it, be aware of it, choose less of it or choose differently or just see how you feel. Sometimes we need to make a choice and then mess it up to remind ourselves of why you made the choice in the first place. So you can't fail, you can't mess this up. It's trying, it's a practice. You're practicing removing the noise this week. So I want to ask you, what noise or noises, if you've got more than one, are you committing to removing this week? Even if it's just for this week, what noise are you committing to removing this week? For me, and I'm going to do it too, because I know how beautiful this is YouTube, Spotify, like podcasts, and books that aren't the book I'm currently reading. And the reason for that is the book I'm currently reading feels expansive and lovely to me, and it's genuinely like lightening my heart. Whereas the other books I read, they're definitely distractions. So those are mine. What are yours? Mm, yeah, not seeing the impact of the noise. It becomes so part of our day, we just literally don't notice anymore. But the thing is, when something's that sneaky and insidious, it's often the things we need to look at the most. All right, here we go. Taking my phone with me every time I go to the bathroom. I feel like it's an easy start that can make such an impact. Rather, I can check in with myself, connect with myself. Yeah. And shining a light on this, it's like, say, whether you're in the bathroom for 2 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on how your day is going and what's happening, being with yourself for 2 minutes or 10 minutes. Why? And like getting curious. Why is that hard? What makes me uncomfortable about that? And maybe it's genuinely like, oh, it's just a habit to take my phone in. And maybe it's like, oh, I just start to notice how anxious I feel. I start to think about the worries on my mind. And when you start to notice the things that you may be avoiding with your noise, curious, non-judgmental, loving,